Have you ever wondered if kangaroos really box, or is it just a myth? Welcome to our exploration of one of nature's most unique and often misunderstood creatures, the kangaroo. Now, when we think of kangaroos, many of us immediately picture these iconic Australian animals engaging in pugilistic displays, bouncing around on their hind legs, gloves up, ready to deliver a knockout punch. It's an image that's been popularized by cartoons, movies, and even sports mascots, painting a picture of kangaroos as the heavyweight champions of the animal kingdom. But is there any truth to this, or is it merely a figment of our collective imagination? The answer, as you might expect, isn't as straightforward as you might think. Kangaroos do exhibit behaviors that, to our human eyes, can appear remarkably like boxing. They use their strong, muscular arms to grapple with each other, and their powerful hind legs to deliver formidable kicks. But is this really boxing as we understand it, or is it something else entirely? Our journey today will take us into the heart of the Australian outback as we delve into the fascinating world of kangaroos. We'll explore their unique biology, their complex social structures, and yes, we'll even take a closer look at their so-called boxing skills. Along the way, we'll unravel some of the myths and misconceptions that surround these remarkable animals. We'll learn about their habits, their behaviors, and their survival strategies. And we'll discover why, despite the popular image of the boxing kangaroo, these animals are about so much more than just a good right hook. So, are you ready to jump into this adventure? Are you prepared to challenge what you think you know about kangaroos? Good, because we're about to embark on a journey that promises to be as enlightening as it is entertaining. Stay tuned as we unravel the truth behind the boxing kangaroo. Before we dive into their boxing skills, let's understand a bit more about kangaroos. Native to Australia, these fascinating creatures are an iconic symbol of the outback. They are marsupials, a type of mammal that carries its young in a pouch, and they are best known for their powerful hind legs and large feet, which they use for hopping at high speeds and covering vast distances. Kangaroos are herbivores, feasting mainly on grasses, but they are not fussy eaters and will consume a variety of plants if need be. They have a unique adaptation for surviving in a harsh and often dry environment. They can go long periods without water. What truly sets kangaroos apart, however, is their social structure. They live in groups called mobs or troops, and it's within these groups that their boxing skills come into play. Now that we know a bit more about kangaroos, it's time to examine their boxing skills. Kangaroos boxing. It's a sight that has fascinated many. But why do they do it? Well, let's dive into the fascinating world of kangaroo boxing. Contrary to popular belief, it's not just a random show of strength or a spectacle for onlookers. It's a deeply ingrained part of kangaroo behavior, a unique interaction that mirrors the complexity of their social structure. Kangaroos are known to be solitary creatures, but they do have social hierarchies, and boxing plays a significant role in establishing dominance within these hierarchies. These boxing bouts occur primarily between males, with the victor earning not only bragging rights but also the attention of potential mates. So, how does a kangaroo boxing match play out? It's quite fascinating, really. Kangaroos will square off, standing tall on their hind legs, and begin to jab at each other with their front paws. It's not just a test of strength, but also agility and endurance. The kangaroos will also use their tails for balance and leverage, adding a layer of strategic depth to the exchange. But it's not always about power. Sometimes these bouts serve as a form of communication. A younger kangaroo might engage an older one in a boxing match, not to challenge authority, but to gauge its strength and learn from the experience. In this way, boxing becomes a form of social learning and interaction. Moreover, female kangaroos, while less likely to box, do engage in this behavior occasionally. It's a rare sight, but when it happens, it's usually to establish boundaries or assert dominance over resources. So, next time you see kangaroos boxing, remember, it's not just about the spectacle. It's a complex dance of power, communication, and social dynamics, playing out in the form of a boxing match. It's a testament to the intricate social structure that exists within kangaroo communities. As we've just learned, kangaroo boxing is more than just a spectacle. It's a crucial part of their behavior. Kangaroo boxing isn't just about the fight, it plays a significant role in their society. Now, when we think of boxing, we might picture two humans in a ring, duking it out for a championship belt. But for kangaroos, boxing is less about the spectacle and more about survival. It's a complex social behavior that helps establish dominance, resolve conflicts, and even secure a mate. In the kangaroo world, size matters. Larger males typically hold more power and have a higher chance of attracting a mate. But it's not just about physical size. Strength and skill, demonstrated through boxing, also play key roles. When two males square off, it's not just a competition of strength, it's a display of skill and agility. The kangaroos use their powerful hind legs for balance while they jab and hook with their smaller front paws. They even use their tails for stability, allowing for a full range of motion during these boxing bouts. But what's really fascinating is the role boxing plays in conflict resolution. You see, kangaroos are social animals. They live in groups or mobs, and like any social group, conflicts arise. These conflicts can be over food, territory, or mates. Instead of escalating into a full-blown fight, kangaroos often resolve these conflicts through boxing. A few rounds can determine the winner, and the conflict is resolved with minimal harm to either party. And of course, there's mating. In the wild, competition for a mate can be fierce. Male kangaroos box to show off their strength and prowess to potential mates. It's an odd form of courtship perhaps, but effective in the kangaroo world. So, when you next see a pair of kangaroos boxing, remember, it's not just about the fight. They are communicating, resolving conflicts, and even flirting in their own unique way. So boxing isn't just a sport for kangaroos, it's a way of life. Though kangaroo boxing is quite real, there are several misconceptions that need to be debunked. So let's dive right in and tackle these myths head-on. One of the most common myths is that all kangaroos are natural boxers. This is not entirely true. While male kangaroos often box as a part of their mating rituals, not every kangaroo is a born fighter. Like humans, some are more aggressive than others. The boxing we see is actually a form of combat, with the males fighting over potential mates. So, while it may appear as though they're donning the gloves for a round in the ring, this behavior is rooted much more in survival and reproduction than in sport. Another popular misconception is that kangaroos box for fun. This is not the case. Kangaroos are not engaging in these boxing matches for amusement or entertainment. The bouts are usually serious affairs, with the dominant male trying to maintain his status and the challenger seeking to usurp him. It's a high-stakes game where the prize is the right to mate. Now let's address the inaccurate depiction of kangaroo boxing in pop culture. We've all seen the cartoonish portrayals of kangaroos in boxing gloves, trading blows like professional boxers. This couldn't be further from the truth. Kangaroos don't actually punch each other with closed fists. Instead, they balance on their tail and kick with their powerful hind legs. This is their primary form of attack and defense. Another myth is that kangaroo boxing is a frequent occurrence. While these face-offs do happen, they are not as common as one might think. They occur mostly during the breeding season when competition for mates is high. With these myths debunked, we can appreciate kangaroo boxing for what it truly is. It's not a sport or a pastime, but a serious display of strength and dominance. A fascinating glimpse into the complex social structures of Kangaroo Society. So next time you think of kangaroo boxing, remember, it's not about the spectacle, but about survival and continuation of the species. We've journeyed through the world of kangaroo boxing, but let's quickly recap what we've learned. We embarked on this adventure, questioning whether kangaroo boxing was a myth or a reality. We discovered that it's not just a fun fact for trivia nights, but a significant part of kangaroo society. We explored the kangaroo's background, a species native to Australia, and delved into their unique boxing skills. We took an in-depth look at how kangaroos use boxing not just as a form of defense, but also as a social interaction tool. We highlighted the importance of boxing in kangaroo society. They use it to establish dominance, compete for mates, and even resolve disputes. We also debunked a few myths about kangaroo boxing. It's not just about the punches, it involves complex body language and signals. So next time you see a kangaroo, remember, there's more to their boxing